up, people? This is Just Talk Show. This is the professor here with my man Skinny G, Just Talk MJ and Junior. Just want to say, real quick, we're gonna talk about the terrorist acts in Las Vegas, the city of sin. Then also the Big Easy in New Orleans. Just want to see what y'all opinion is on it. It's kind of jacked up. Anybody can hit the show real quick because I got plenty to say, so I don't want to take up no everybody's time.
A U.S. Army veteran who drove a pickup truck into a crowd in New Orleans, killing 15 people, had posted videos to social media hours earlier saying he was inspired by ISIS. Investigators found guns and what appeared to be an improvised explosive device in his vehicle, which bore the flag of the Islamic State. Fireworks and camp fuel canisters were found stuffed into the back of a Tesla Cybertruck that exploded outside President-elect Donald Trump's Las Vegas hotel early Wednesday. Authorities say that a person died inside the truck and 7 people nearby suffered minor injuries. And police say 10 people were wounded in a shooting outside a New York City nightclub on Wednesday. The NYPD said 30 shots were fired before the gunman fled on foot. The wounded are being treated for non-life-threatening injuries.
I mean, to me, it looked like it's a correlation. They said right now, the news I heard earlier today was that these are 2 separate incidents, but they got some similarities. They both was in electric vehicles. They both served time in the military, the Army being that, and they both tried to make a makeshift bomb. Now, and they both did it on the same day, 6 hours apart, but it's a little like, hey, is everybody, and these are homegrown radical people, 2 individuals, one of color, one that both allegedly 2 males, and they did what they did. It was horrific. Words can't explain it.
Yeah, we're gonna go and get into it, man. The name of the show is The Fog of War. So we got this fog going on across the United States, all across the globe. We got terrorist attacks. Let's get into it. Las Vegas. Let's go and get into it. What's y'all spill?
Well, fellas, my take on this, man, I take this kind of personal. I usually don't take things personal, but this time I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
At 17 years old, man, I made a conscious choice to enlist in the service because I wanted to be a patriot. I wanted to serve my country, and I wanted to protect my family. That was my rationale of thinking at this time, and it's still my line of thinking. For these guys to get the training and then turn their backs on the country, man, if they had any life in them, I would unalive them myself because this is you betrayed everyone, and I mean your family, your country, and any other thing you can come up with. Now, you may have differences of opinions about what President-elect Trump might have, or I don't know what the simulation was in New Orleans, but at the same time, we are a democracy, man. We come together and then we decide things together. This is only thing this is gonna do is steadily drive a wedge in between the country. It's time for us to heal, man. It's time for us to get to going in the right direction, man. And if we gonna have individuals carrying out individual acts like this, and like the professor was speaking on, these guys both were in the army. These guys both served. They rented vehicles from the same company, and they did it less than hours apart. These guys were at the same duty station together. So my thing is something transpired between these two for them to set this up. Now I know President Biden is trying to say that didn't is not they're not related. I'm sorry, sir. Your intelligence is telling you not the truth.
Well, we had the FBI director. They said the DI hired down there in New Orleans. They're saying she's the girl with the nose ring come out saying it wasn't a terrorist attack. But everybody's saying that it is a terrorist attack. So I think we moved past that. But that's showing that the FBI is not going to be telling us everything what's going on, man. We got us as the people. We got to figure out what's going on for ourselves. Just talk. What you think, MJ?
Yeah.
Professor?
Hey man. Yeah, this just talking MJ, man. Real quick, man. Uh yeah, I also enlisted at a young age into the military, man. So I have a certain feeling for this too. I felt like it was a gut punch to us too, man. Like, as a military vet myself, we are kind of sworn to almost patriotism to the point to where it's like, why would anyone as a military, a former military vet or active military status even attempt to do something like that? But I heard one thing, or one person that reported on it said that it was the guy who was in Las Vegas. He was more of committing suicide. He was suicidal versus homicidal, or trying to make this type of.
Oh, we got silence. What happened?
Well, while we try to get MJ back, man, my son lives in Las Vegas. I went to visit him within the last 4 months. I stayed at that exact hotel, man. I could have been standing out there with my family and could have been paraded with shrapnel had we not been aware, man. That's just how close I was to that vicinity less than 3 months ago.
I mean, it was a horrific act, and I agree with the sentiments of my fellow podcasters. I once was a part of the military, the army as well. I still live by that creed. Those of us that served in the army know about the leadership acronym. Loyalty, duty, respect, honor, integrity, personal courage. What I'm saying? Selfless service. Those things are paramount. And for what we saw at the beginning of the year, this is the first day of the year, and you guys are trying to make yourselves bigger than the country, and disrespecting the values that you learned. It's a coward move. It's a straight coward move. And I I despise cowards.
Hey, look here though,
Especially.
man. I don't mean to interrupt, man, or interject. If I could get a go without being muted there, Mr. SG. Um, yeah, man. I don't know where I left off at, but before you say that, sir, it's the reason why I interjected. That one guy in Vegas, I was kind of saying along the lines that I heard, and it was been reported that he was suicidal versus homicidal. You know what I'm saying? And I understand. I'll give him some sort of a pass. You know what I'm saying? If he was suicidal, you know what I'm saying. I can't just completely just say, oh yeah, that was fucked up, because I know understand post traumatic stress and things that we go through from being in Afghanistan, and we could have seen, and we could have did this, or you know what I'm saying. I understand the ramifications of post traumatic stress. I'll just leave it at that, because I've seen it firsthand. You know what I'm saying, firsthand. And if the man became suicidal, I'll give him somewhat of a pass. But as far as the guy in New Orleans, that was an ISIS flag reported to be on the back of his truck. So, and the FBI agent who spoke on it, she just spoke on it before she got all the facts. She also stated in her statement, SG, that we don't have all the facts, and before we still looking at all the facts. She didn't just say that no, it's not a terrorist attack. She said, as of right now, it's not reported as a terrorist attack, but we don't have all the facts. So I don't want to, we don't want to miss in.
Misinform the people.
Now,
We
if
get
you
that.
want, if y'all Ray, if you want to call that shit, I agree with you on that shit. That was some cowardly ass bullshit that he did. I saw how that truck ran through the crowd. I felt disrespected. Like now, I'm in agreement with y'all on that one, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, like it is what it is, man. New Orleans like a second home, bro. What I'm saying? I love the vibe of the city. But the vibe of the city, what I'm saying, we strong enough, the Who That Nation, the whole vibe, to where that Creole, still gonna get up, and they open Bourbon Street is back open. Uh, they're not going to let these attacks, whether they terrorists or just attacks, which we know they attacks, we're not going to let the vibe of the city be lost because of these weak individuals doing stuff. Now the guy in Vegas, you know, mental health is a real issue in America, and especially for a lot of veterans. Shit, 100% of veterans.
Right. That's what I was saying.
100% of
hundred
veterans.
percent.
It ain't no. Oh, I'm good. Yeah, you may be good. And you may be doing good for that particular moment, and even in another moment. But there's things that hunt you because of that lifestyle, that the courage that you took when you took that oath. But these guys went against that code, and it's been other soldiers that have committed suicide and said, hey, it's they have broke the code, but they hurt themselves, or they may have hurt some other folks right before they hurt themselves.
Yeah, see that
Yeah,
part right there. That's what I was kind of trying to speak to. Like
yeah,
he
and
didn't as a former Green Beret, I'm gonna let you go. But as a former Green Beret, if he was like wanting to really hurt some people, why
right.
didn't he? Why didn't he just crash the truck inside the damn
Mm-hmm.
tower and then do that? It seemed like he really just wanted to kind of make a statement with his suicide versus hurting Trump or hurting somebody else. He just wanted to pull in front of that tower and probably make some awareness come to the reason why he did this to himself. That's
Yeah,
that's that's what I'm getting from that one.
I can see that. I can see that perspective. I can see that perspective because he could have went in and done some damage. I'm glad that he did himself first and then blew up the truck, or had the truck blow up. However, he shot himself first, then the truck blew up. I can appreciate that more than the fella that runs
Yeah,
over
yeah,
50 people, 60 people,
yeah,
killing 15, then jump out the car and start shooting at the police. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I agree with
that's
that.
that's just like, come on, bro, for real. Like,
I'm like my guy CJ. I mean, I wish I could have got to that guy myself.
well, he was looking to have a shootout, so it was definitely
Yeah, I
definitely gonna
just
be.
say he would have got one too.
He was
That's what I'm
he was
saying.
looking he was looking. The only difference is that when you down there and you on that in that particular area in the French quarters period, or the city itself, you ain't down there looking to just pop off with a gunfight. You know what I'm saying? You may be
Let me ask
prepared
y'all
to
this
react.
question. Let me ask y'all this question. As veterans, can y'all see a federal veteran being radicalized with the radical Islam and Hamas and ISIS and all that, or what do you think? Is that all just for the media, or do you think that he's been really radicalized by the Islamic State?
That the one in New Orleans, yeah, I would have to say somebody got to him in some sort of way, but that's something that you don't see, man. Only one that will see that is somebody very close to him, like maybe his battle buddy, his first, you know what I'm saying, the guy that he worked with every day in the army. But other than that, his wife or his kids may see it. That's something in the army because that's actually treason, man, and that's we know,
Yeah.
you commit treason, you done. They used to put you in front of a firing squad for treason. I don't know if they still do.
And so speak to this. Do we have sleeper cells in the USA right now? Even people that's coming across the border, or even people that's been in the army. Like, what do y'all think? Just
These are
talk.
homegrown folks.
Yeah,
So
man, you can't say sleeper cells like
these are
just from the
homegrown.
army. This
These
this that
homegrown. That
Most
cat.
of it is homegrown, but yeah, I understand where you're coming from, SG. And I'll say this: yes and no. Because yes, it's been going on for years and years. Yeah, we've had immigrants and people coming over this border for years, and it seems like it's been some sort of agenda. But in the military, no, it's not like that because I would say most people in the military are patriots, and after you go through that training, you know what I'm saying, and and become a you become a soldier. It's very rare for you to do some stuff like that to become radicalized. It's very rare. I'll put it like that. I ain't saying it's impossible, but it's rare.
Go ahead, get your spiel rating on here for CJ about these sleeper cells and what's going on.
All that sleeper cells in America, it's sleeper cells in every country. But these particular acts that was performed were by people that was homegrown. And to piggyback off of MJ's take, when you go through this indoctrination of becoming a patriot, it's really difficult for you to turn your back on that old glory. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard. You know, even when you witness Colin Kaepernick taking a knee, you're like, oh, but but as a patriot, you go, I understand.
I understand.
I understand. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I couldn't get
But
mad at
you know what I'm saying? But
Trump
you
for that. I just
but
like
if you but if you don't have that, it's kind of like, oh, you shouldn't, and you gotta understand we are different. It's a different code that we live by. It's a different code. And when you attain that, is seeing what we saw.
where you go? You muted. You muted. SG done muted you by mistake. Unmute yourself, Ray.
Yeah. But it's tough. It's tough. You know what I'm saying? To see what took place, especially after coming from a night of where it's like, all right, you had a good time. I had a good time. You know what I'm saying? Waking up that morning, I'm like, all right, it's first of the year, let's get it. And to see that, and then to follow that with seeing the sonic boom of the South in the Rose Bowl, like the show must go on. Is the mentality? It's like the show must go on, but at the same time, you grieving. You like, damn, this shit. What if I was there? Now, 3 o'clock in the morning, I don't believe I would have been out there. But if it
Yeah.
happened at
And
one,
what I was thinking about, man? If this dude is radicalized Islam, maybe they want to target Las Vegas and New Orleans because they are cities of sin. And they feel like it's a free kill for people out there partying and doing the devil's time. Quasi, what y'all think about that? As we hear from
I'm
CJ, and
I'm
I
I'm gonna
apologize
go
about the
ahead
mute thing.
real
People
quick.
hitting the
Go
wrong
ahead.
button.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but go ahead. Whoever gonna go, but I'm gonna say this right here, Skinny. SG. I'm sorry. Man, I really think I hate to agree with Joe Biden, but I'm gonna have to agree with Joe Biden on this one. They seem like they separate acts. That's all I wanted to say. They separate acts, man.
based on the suicide, then the fucked up bombing because he chose a Tesla that had that motherfucker to contain it because he was trying to blow that lithium battery up.
Cause
That,
and they also, not to interrupt you either, but they also look at his political status. They both are Democrats, by the way. They both are Democrat donors, both of them.
well, I don't think the party necessarily even matters. You know what I'm saying? They could have been
Yes,
whatever.
it does when you start thinking about how people can become radicalized. If you listen to, I'm sorry, but if you listen to enough MSNBC and CNN, and this is just my opinion, this is my opinion. And if you listen to enough of that stuff, you can become radicalized in that way as well, because
But
they push a lot of doom and gloom and a lot of high emotional news out there, a lot of fear mongering and stuff. Like they were saying, for instance, they said, well, if Donald Trump is elected, women's rights are done. Like he just gonna fucking start slavery and he gonna lock up all the women type thing. Why would you, as a credible news source, push that type of rhetoric out there? That's just weird.
that hey, look,
So
I
that's
don't I
that's
don't
how I understand it can happen.
I don't subscribe to that at all. And that sound like MSNBC. That didn't sound like
But
like
they
CBS. Hold
but
on, I'm
they're
going to
supposed to
say
be a
this.
credible news source, and people
I,
pay to
hey,
watch
hey,
that stuff.
hey, people pay for that. That's cable TV. That's paid cable TV, MSNBC, CNN, Fox News. Because the same can be said about Fox News. They put some whoppers out there now.
I
You
would
know what
have to
I'm saying?
agree with you on that.
With
You
the
know, where
cheese
that's
and the
I ain't gonna
onions.
say that
You
they
know,
that they push
like
a different type of extreme.
exactly.
They when they go extreme, I think most of the time they try to always push it to the Constitution. That's really what they try to do most of the time.
Nah. I've seen Fox News hype up Russia. You know what I'm saying? Or I've seen people say, well, I'd rather be a Russian than a Democrat. Some
I
shit of
mean,
What
that
well,
the
nature.
y'all gotta
hell?
realize, man, welcome to 2025, man. There's all type of stuff going on, man. We done had these aliens, we done had these drones, we didn't survive COVID-19. They got this fog stuff coming on. I
Yeah,
mean,
good
what else is they bringing out? I
good
mean,
interlude.
try
What's up
to
with the
show tonight
fog,
the
man? I
fog of
was gonna ask
war,
about that shit. What's up with
terrorism.
the fog?
What's up with the fog? We love to hear CJ about this. If anybody else want to talk about what's up with the fog, y'all heard any reports on that?
They've been
Yeah, I
keeping
heard
that
a little
real low.
bit.
They've been keeping that one like out the front page. It's in the news, but it's not on the front page. Remember the newspaper? Remember back in the day when you had newspapers, like the paper newspaper,
Yeah,
and you could fold from the front to the back. You got your business section, you got your national news, you got your local news. You know what I'm talking about? You know
you
that
have to be
that
old
that.
enough to. You have to be old enough.
Well, yeah, I guess so. I guess you got to be a little seasoned to understand that part.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but right now, it's the front page news is what we seeing that's being broadcasted on the TVs and shit. Now that back news, yeah, that fog, yeah, I mean, shit, it's more than just that fog. I mean, they poisoning, not allegedly, they're poisoning the fucking the birds. We had bird flu here in Mississippi. They had to kill a whole flock. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we got to get rid of them. You know what I'm saying? Bird flu.
And also, man, to correct the language a little bit when we talking about the where the fog is coming from, we gotta call them Dior bags. The Dior bags is what's bringing the fog, man. The Dior bags in the air. That's what's
Hold
bringing the
on, man.
fog.
You just lost me. You talking about designer? What do you mean?
No, man. We, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I don't know if we're gonna get flagged or if they're gonna suppress our shit, but since I need to bring it out, this is recently. Whenever you on the internet, whenever you bring it out, especially on TikTok, whenever we start talking about drones, they suppress your shit. The algorithm suppresses your shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what
Yeah.
I'm speaking to. And everybody's changed the language to Dior bags when you're talking about them. So anyway, I'll go ahead and say it. I'm gonna go ahead and go full gusto with it. That I've heard that the drones is what's spraying the mist out in the areas that the drones are. That fog that's in that area is where the pick the fog is thickness, and is also in areas where there's not usually fog in those areas, especially this time of year. So you got the fog and you got the drones, or the i.e. the ore bags, letting the fog down. And
All right,
so
Dior bags,
that's what I
Louis
heard.
Vuitton. Have you heard in reports that these Dior bags have particles and we can't breathe them in? We gotta speak so many code words nowadays. They call it
Yeah, but I mean, if
fog get 25 or what are they calling it? Have you seen the reports that when you put it to the light, you see particles and anything? What's the
yeah, we're
science on
gonna
that?
yeah, if we're gonna be professional, let's go ahead and do this the right way. If we want to go viral, we got to do it the right way. Anyway, uh, part as far as particles, yeah, I've seen on same on TikTok, man. I've seen some research that some people have done that stuff. When you see it on your car, there's a white film that's associated with it, and if you can you rub your hand together and you see this liquid, and it turns white like a chemically film. Also, I saw the same stuff on someone's pool. It looked like almost like a group of
Yeah,
dishwashing
like
suds
snow or
together.
like foam or something.
Yeah, and so what my first thought was shit. Why don't somebody grab that shit and take it to the lab and test it and see what's in it? But I guess anybody that can do it has done it already, and they don't want to report what it is.
Well, I this is a very very new subject to even deal with, but the foggy the fog saga followed the drone saga that was off the East Coast, off of New Jersey, and then they saying that right now this fog is coming through, and it's a burning chemical smell. So,
I
Yeah.
mean, well, I would say this to you, Mr.
like
Professor.
this
This
is
ain't no new thing. If you would watch Alex Jones, he been talking about this for years, man. Stephen
Alex.
King said about the mist, but he said this is a DARPA program where they have electronic nanoparticles in the thing. It's like a article of war where they can naturally go into it and enact different effects. It's it's a different warfare tactic. They're just releasing it amongst the public right now. I don't know if
Hey,
y'all know about DARPA and
Alex
all
Jones.
those type of things.
Look, Alex Jones. That with that, the only thing that brings to mind is the day the Earth stood still with Keanu Reeves. You know what I'm saying? And now they had that big, tall, like black figure with one eye,
Get
and
him.
they took him into the
Exactly.
underground silo, and all
Exactly.
of a sudden they were trying to break him open, and the damn diamond cutters that they was using all of a sudden started dissolving, and they were like, man, and they looked, and the damn thing was spreading apart, and anything it touched, it
Exactly.
was just destroyed. So I mean, they look, they put that stuff in the movies for a long time about what they want to put out, but we ain't on the East Coast. I ain't. I have smelled some different smells in the sip, but I'm not experiencing it like that as far as what they have in the East Coast. I just
Yeah.
ain't.
And look, you go ahead and try. And I want to say to everybody that's watching us right now, man, if you don't hit the subscribe button, you know what I'm saying, your phone gonna blow up. So why don't you? You know what I mean? But we'll go ahead and holler from CJ. If he's still there, we'd love to hear from you, man, about these things, man. This terrorism, this fog. If you're still there, brother, can we hear from you? We'll get a second. I guess CJ
He
out here
might
building a
he might be on the break, man.
Go ahead and bring us home, man. We'll try to keep it at 30. Go ahead and bring us in, Mark.
No, it's all good, man. Just kind of rounded up to what we spoke about tonight, man. That first beginning subject was pretty good, man. But I'd have to say what really was on my interest was this last topic we brought up with the fog, man. The fog, man, is reported to getting people sick, and it's reportedly being probably sprayed or whatever, like you said, man. It's pretty dangerous to think that our government or some dark forces or whatever could be actually spraying some stuff in the air that's getting people sick. So what I say is everybody just use your spiritual discernment out there. Take care of yourself. And it ain't got to be spiritual discernment. Just use your common sense, man. They say common sense is not common no more. But I just say everybody use your common sense. Look up and keep your eyes around and be aware of what's going on around you. And keep you and your family safe. And we appreciate y'all.
All right, go ahead on in, Ray. You can go ahead and take us out. CJ ain't there.
Oh yeah, man. I was gonna say, man. Look, the drones and the fog. The drones, the fog of war. Really, the title of this reaction show, man, is you know right on point. Just looking at the thumbnail, you're seeing um, where this country is unfortunately at. And this fog that is entrapped your mind in this matrix to make you a battery, to be the energy of destruction, it's gotta change. Just gotta change. And if that's and if it's about the entertainment, then shit. Don't pay attention. Just go out and just get money and watch it bump you upside the head or something. But if you really want to pay attention, let's get it. Look, I mean that's all I can say, man. But peace out to y'all. If y'all been here with us this long, hit that like and subscribe, that notification bell. What I'm saying? We thank y'all for your
Yeah,
time. You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Shout out to everybody here. And don't forget, we still got that $500 or that $100 subscribe. So we get that when we get that 500 subscribers now. We ain't
Yeah, and
forgot about
shout
that.
out to anybody that was affected by the tragedy in New Orleans, man. We here
Yeah,
with y'all.
definitely,
We here in empathy and support with y'all, man. Shout out to y'all.
definitely. The New
These
Orleans,
guys.
Just Talk Show. We out this bitch.
Jacktown.